Have you ever found yourself in the middle of something so familiar, only to suddenly wonder, why doesn't this feel right anymore? Maybe it's a daily routine, a morning stretch that used to feel refreshing but now feels stiff. Or maybe it's something more private, something you've never talked about, not with your doctor, not even with your closest friend. We're talking about self-pleasure in your later years. Yes, that. Now, before you click away or shift in your seat, take a breath. Because what if the discomfort, frustration, or even disconnection you've been feeling isn't your fault? What if it's not aging that's getting in the way, but the habits you've carried with you from decades ago? You see, many men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond were never really taught how to adjust their most personal routines as their bodies changed. We were told to stay strong, stay quiet, and just deal with it. And so we carried our silence through prostate issues, changes in sensation, or emotional distance from our own bodies, without ever asking, is there a better way? This video isn't here to sell you a miracle cure or whisper false hope. It's here to offer you something far more valuable: clarity, respect, confidence, because you deserve to understand how your body works now, not how it worked at 35. In today's video, we're going to uncover 7 silent mistakes older men often make when it comes to self-pleasure. Mistakes that might be quietly reducing your sensitivity, damaging your confidence, or even putting your health at risk. And more importantly, we'll show you how to let go of old myths and replace them with simple, science-backed habits that help you feel more alive, more connected, and more in control. This is not about shame, it's about freedom. So whether you've never talked about this before, or you're just now ready to listen, stay with us. You might be surprised at what you learn. And if you believe that growing older should come with more self-respect, not less, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We make videos that speak directly to the experiences of older men: health, aging, confidence, and beyond. You deserve content that honors your age and your wisdom. Let's begin. 1. The quiet weight of holding back, the semen retention myth. Let's start with something that's been whispered for generations. Real men hold it in. Maybe you've heard it from old friends or read it online. Claims that if you abstain long enough, you'll feel more powerful, more focused, maybe even younger. They say it boosts your testosterone, sharpens your mind, keeps your energy high. But here's the question no one ever asks. How does it really make you feel? Not in theory, not on paper, but in your actual body, in your daily life. Many older men who try to retain for weeks or even months describe a creeping sense of frustration, a mental fog they can't shake, restless sleep, an ache in their lower body that never seems to go away. Some even admit to unexpected mood swings or a short fuse with the people they love most. This isn't strength, it's pressure, quietly building, silently draining. Your body wasn't designed to bottle up everything. As you age, healthy release isn't a weakness, it's self-care. Moderate, intentional release can support hormone balance, reduce prostate congestion, ease tension, and even help you sleep better at night. This isn't about frequency, it's about listening. Respecting the rhythm of your body instead of trying to master it like a machine. So if you've been holding back because someone told you it would make you more of a man, I invite you to consider something softer, wiser. What if being a man isn't about control, but about connection? What if you've done the hard work already, built a career, raised a family, survived storms others couldn't, and now in this chapter of life, you're allowed to just feel, to let go of the myths, to reclaim ease, comfort, and even joy in the most private parts of your life. You haven't lost your strength. You're simply being called to redefine it. Let's keep going, and uncover the next silent habit that might be stealing your sensitivity without you even knowing. Let me know when you'd like to continue to part 2, the same grip and technique every time. 2, the comfort trap and why it's quietly numbing you. Let's be honest, there's something comforting about routine, the way your hands move, the rhythm, the pressure. After years, maybe even decades, you know exactly what works, or at least what used to work. But here's the quiet truth many older men never say out loud. What once brought pleasure now barely registers. It feels muted, mechanical, almost empty. And it's not because you've lost the ability to feel, it's because your body has adapted to the same stimulation over and over again. Think of it like listening to your favorite song on repeat. At first, it stirs something inside you, but after the 200th time, you barely notice the notes anymore. Your nervous system works the same way. When you use the exact same grip, pressure, and motion every time, your body starts to tune it out. That familiar path becomes so worn down, it no longer sparks the response it once did. And when that happens, it can quietly chip away at your pleasure and your confidence. You might even start to wonder, why can't I feel as much anymore? Why does intimacy feel harder? Is it me? No, it's not you. It's your routine. The good news? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just nudge it in a new direction. Change hands. Alter the pressure. Slow down. Speed up. Try circular instead of linear. Even small shifts can reawaken sensation, fire up new neural pathways, and breathe fresh energy into your most private moments. And yes, there are tools, soft, safe, discreet, made specifically to support these changes, especially for aging hands or stiff joints. This isn't about novelty, it's about keeping your connection alive with your body, your pleasure, and your presence. You're not abandoning what works. You're expanding what's possible because you haven't gone numb. You've just been asking your body to dance to the same beat for too long. Let's change the rhythm. Let me know when you're ready to continue to part 3, rushing through the experience. 3, slowing down, reclaiming the moment that's always been yours. Do you remember the first time you ever did it? Most men do, not because it was beautiful or connected, but because it was rushed, hidden, done in secret, behind locked doors or under the covers, afraid someone might knock or walk in. That urgency, that need to finish quickly, it never really left, did it? Even now, at 60, 70, 80, when there's no one around, no reason to rush, your body still races, your hands go into autopilot. You chase the end before the beginning has even begun. It's not your fault. It's just the habit of a lifetime. But here's the cost of that lifelong urgency. You miss the moment. It becomes less about pleasure and more about release, less about feeling, and more about finishing. Over time, this pattern, this mechanical routine can disconnect you from your body. You might feel emotionally flat afterward, numb, unfulfilled. You may even start to wonder, is this all it is now? But the truth is your body is still capable of so much more if you give it the time to show you. When you slow down, not just your hands, but your breathing, your thoughts, your pace, something shifts. You begin to notice sensation again. You feel warmth, pressure, softness, not just between your legs, but in your chest, your arms, your breath. Pleasure in its richest form doesn't live in the finish line. It lives in the journey. So take your time, light a candle, sit comfortably, breathe deeply, let yourself feel without rushing toward a goal. This is your moment. No shame, no stopwatch, just you learning how to connect again on your terms. You don't need to be quick. You need to be present. And presence at this stage in life is one of the most powerful things you can give yourself. Let me know when you're ready for part 4, ignoring the rest of the body. 4, You are more than one part, rediscovering the rest of your body. Somewhere along the way, most men were taught a silent rule. It's just one area. That's all that matters. And so, for decades, that's where the focus stayed, always between the legs. Everything else, left untouched, unnoticed, unexplored. But what if that rule was never true? What if the very thing that's missing, the warmth, the depth, the sense of true connection, isn't gone because of age, but because you've been ignoring the rest of you? Your body is not a machine made for function. It's a landscape full of nerve endings, textures, temperatures, and responses that shift over time. Even now in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you are capable of so much more sensation than you've likely allowed yourself to feel. The soft inside of your thighs, the skin across your belly, your chest, your neck, even the soles of your feet. These aren't indulgences, they're invitations to come home to your body in a new way. Because touch, when done with awareness, isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's grounding. It can remind you that you're still alive, that you still feel, that you're still whole. When you engage more than just one part of yourself, something beautiful happens. You shift from stimulation to connection. And for many men, that shift is what they've been craving. Not more excitement, but more meaning, more calm, more comfort, more presence. You don't have to be experimental. You don't need candles, music, or complicated steps unless you want them. All it takes is the willingness to explore gently, to be curious, to notice, to pause. Because the truth is, you are not just one part. You are a body, a brain, a history, a man with decades of feeling, and still room to feel more. So go ahead, let your hands wander. Not to chase sensation, but to rediscover it. Let me know when you're ready to continue to part 5, avoiding lubrication. 5, a simple tool, a better experience. The quiet power of lubrication. Let's talk about something simple. So simple, in fact, that many men overlook it completely. Lubrication. For most of your life, you probably didn't think twice about it. Maybe you didn't need it, or maybe you just never considered it an option, especially for moments of self-pleasure. But now your skin has changed. Your body has changed. It's not weakness, it's life. As we age, our skin naturally loses moisture. The same touch that once felt smooth and easy can now create friction, leading to irritation, tiny tears, or even a dullness that creeps in slowly, silently. You might not even realize it, but that subtle discomfort, that's your body quietly asking for something softer. And if your hands aren't as nimble as they used to be, if arthritis or joint stiffness has made certain motions harder, then lubrication isn't just about pleasure. It's about ease. A high-quality, skin-safe lubricant can transform the entire experience. It reduces effort, restores glide, prevents micro damage. It helps you move with confidence, not caution. It brings back a sense of comfort that many men have unknowingly been missing for years. Think of it like reading glasses or a good pair of shoes. You wouldn't shame yourself for needing support in those areas. So why deny your body the same kind of kindness in your most personal moments? Using lubricant isn't giving in. It's growing wise. It's choosing comfort over struggle, presence over friction, pleasure over pressure. And in truth, it's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself, not because you're broken, but because you're worth taking care of. So if things have started to feel dry, uncomfortable, or just not the same, try adding this small step. You may be surprised by how much difference a little softness can make. When you're ready, let's continue with part 6. Shame, guilt, and the silent weight of judgment. 6. Letting go of shame. Reclaiming your right to feel. For many men, this part is harder to talk about than anything physical. Not because it's painful on the outside, but because of what it stirs on the inside. Shame, guilt, that quiet voice that whispers, "This isn't something I should be doing." Maybe it was something you were taught as a boy, by a parent, a preacher, or a teacher. That sex was dirty, that pleasure was selfish, that touching yourself was wrong, weak, or sinful. Those messages may have been spoken decades ago, but for many men, they never stopped echoing. Even now, in the quiet of your own home with no one watching, that flicker of guilt still shows up. It might come as a rush to finish, a hesitation to look in the mirror afterward, a subtle sense of discomfort you can't explain. And yet, here's the truth no one told you back then. There is nothing shameful about honoring your body. Not at 16, not at 60, not at 90. Masturbation isn't about lust or indulgence. It's about connection. It's a moment of grounding, of knowing your body still belongs to you. It's a way to ease stress, sleep more deeply, regulate your mood, and even reconnect with a part of yourself that might have gone quiet after years of caregiving, loss, or survival. Study after study has shown older adults who continue to explore their sexuality report better emotional health, stronger self-esteem, and deeper physical comfort. Why? Because they've given themselves permission. And maybe that's what you need too, not permission from a book, a doctor, or a stranger, but from yourself to feel, to explore, to reclaim this moment as something nourishing, not secret. So if you've been carrying guilt like a weight across your shoulders, it's time to set it down. You are not wrong, you are not broken, you are simply human and worthy of care right down to the quietest corners of your life. When you are ready, let's move into the final part. Part 7, ignoring tools designed to support you and what you're missing out on. Tools are not a crutch, they're your bridge back to comfort. You've probably seen the commercials. Ergonomic kitchen gadgets, easy grip jar openers, cushioned shoes for tired feet. No one mocks a man for using those. Why, Bashirni? Because aging isn't about weakness. It's about adapting with wisdom. And yet, when it comes to something as personal as self-pleasure, many men resist the idea of using support tools, not because they don't need them, but because of what they believe it says about them. I should be able to do this on my own. Real men don't use toys. That stuff is for people who've given up. But let's be honest. Has it been getting harder? Are your hands stiffer? Is your sensitivity duller? Are certain motions more frustrating than they used to be? That's not failure. That's reality. And pretending otherwise doesn't serve your dignity. It limits your experience. Today there are tools made specifically with older men in mind. Soft silicone sleeves that mimic natural sensation. Ergonomic grips designed to reduce strain on wrists and fingers. Gentle massagers that awaken long-dormant pleasure zones. Even lubricants infused with warmth or subtle vibration to help stimulate nerves that have grown quiet with time. These aren't gimmicks, they're bridges. Bridges to more comfort, more ease, more connection. Just like you'd wear glasses to read or use a cane to walk longer without pain. These tools are supportive, not shameful. They don't replace your touch. They enhance it. They don't lessen your manhood. They help you feel more of it. You've earned this stage of life. You fought through injuries, stress, heartache, maybe even illness. Why deny yourself the chance to enjoy what your body still wants to offer? Simply because you've never tried something new. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about claiming the comfort you deserve today. Because the truth is, with the right support, many men find more sensation, more relaxation, and more emotional satisfaction now than they ever did in their younger years. So ask yourself, what if the best chapter hasn't passed, but just hasn't started yet? If you're ready, I can now help you close with a powerful, emotionally satisfying, final conclusion and mindset shift. To tie it all together for your viewers, shall we begin? Sometimes all it takes is one honest conversation to begin healing the parts of ourselves we've kept hidden for too long. If this video gave you a sense of hope, for comfort, for connection, for a deeper kind of self-care, let us know in the comments by simply typing hope. It's a quiet, powerful way of saying, I still believe in taking care of myself, inside and out. This is not the end. It's a return to yourself. There's a moment that comes in every man's life when the noise fades, the world slows down, and he's finally left with one thing: himself. No job title, no rushing commute, no expectations to meet. Just his breath, his body, and the question, now what? For many, this moment arrives quietly in their 60s or 70s, sometimes after retirement, empowerment, sometimes after loss, sometimes in the stillness of a morning when you realize you haven't touched your own skin without judgment in years. You've been strong for everyone else. You've carried generations on your shoulders. You've done the hard things, the quiet sacrifices, the battles no one applauded, the griefs no one saw. And now you're here, but what if this isn't an ending? What if it's a beginning, a chance, maybe your first real chance to explore what you want, to feel again, not out of obligation, but out of curiosity, to touch, not to prove anything, but to reclaim connection, not just with your body, but with your peace, your aliveness, your worth. This isn't about sex, not really. It's about something far more sacred, being at home in your own skin. When you let go of shame, when you let go of performance and pressure, when you give yourself permission to enjoy slowly, mindfully, intentionally, something shifts. Your nervous system softens, your chest opens, and for the first time in a long time, you remember you are still here. Not less of a man, not past your prime, not irrelevant, but wiser, softer, stronger, in ways the world never taught you to measure. Pleasure isn't reserved for the young. It isn't about how much you can do or how often or how fast. It's about presence. It's about care. It's about honoring this vessel you've walked in for 60, 70, 80 years and finally saying to it, you still matter. Your body doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be loved by you, especially by you. So tonight or whenever you're ready, take a breath, turn inward. Touch yourself like someone worth returning to, because you are. And if this message spoke to you, if it reminded you of something you'd forgotten or helped you see yourself with a little more grace, then know this: you're not alone. There are thousands of men walking the same quiet path, men learning, unlearning, and relearning how to live well in the skin they're in. And now you're one of them. If this video touched something in you, even just a little, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. It helps more people find this message, and it tells us, yes, these conversations matter. And if you're comfortable, leave a comment below. Tell us what part resonated most. Or just type the word respect as a quiet way of saying, I'm still here, I still care, and I choose to treat myself with kindness. You deserve content that speaks to your life, your wisdom, your journey, your truth, and that's exactly what we're building here, together.